Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you out one more time, Coach, here at Bush Perry Field. We got Coach Todd Hogan. We've been with him the whole season. We did these things every week. I think we may have missed one,
right,
and spring break, something like that. So, I mean, give us a pass right there.
There you go.
But we're not celebrating the wins we wanted to right now, but we got nothing to hang our heads on. A great year for the Dublin Fighting Irish.
There's no question. Yes, I'd love to be getting ready to go play again on Thursday. But that's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. We came out, against a good Bacon County team, and at the end of the day, if you go back and look in those box scores, yes, we lost by not scoring as many runs, but also what killed us was our errors.
Yeah.
You can't win by making errors. And in the second game specifically, we give up 7 runs, you make 7 or 8 errors. First game, I think we made 3 or 4, gave up 8 runs. But that's not anything holding against Bacon County. That's on us. We'd have played a complete game like we did. So our pitchers did a really good job. We got ground balls when we needed to get the outs. We just didn't finish it up. We just didn't finish the plays, and that's what comes back and haunts you until you get back on the field next year. Yeah. So it'll be a long off season with those replaying a few things through our minds as coaches and the players' minds that we know we've got to overcome those issues to be able to get back next year and try and go deeper in the playoffs. But there's nothing to be said that these kids came out, we got to the playoffs, first time like we talked about in 8 years, but we just didn't finish the drill, and that's the most disheartening thing for, I think we had a good enough team to go further, but it still can't take anything away from how good these kids competed this past year.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think these kids, especially your seniors that are moving on, have set a good foundation here for your program that's already been going up, and now they've set a good foundation, and we're going to keep going up from here. I mean, Coach, you're looking at a program that 2 years ago was 2-21. So, I mean, you're on the climb here. There's no doubt about that.
And that's how I kind of explained it to them after the game. Everybody's got emotions after the game, especially your seniors and even some of your juniors and guys that's gotten there for the first time. They were upset about a lot. Rightly so. Sure. I mean, I was upset for them because, hey, that's the seniors, possibly some of them's last game. And so I put all 4 seniors in front of all the underclassmen. And I said, hey, guys, just like you talked about, I said, you see these 4 guys here? They made the move basically when I came over.
Right.
They were the ones that had the struggles and watched this go from winning to actually making the state playoffs. And I said, that's the foundation, like you said. That's the bottom layer of that pyramid that we're trying to build. These guys deserve all the credit. They're the leaders. They're the oldest guys on the team. You're going to follow your leaders. You're going to follow your seniors. And it was upsetting to see those guys with tears in their eyes and just see how much it meant to them not to go to that next level. Makes me know, especially the underclassmen that are going to be here next year, maybe that'll put a little chip on their shoulder and get them ready not to have that feeling next year so early. So I was really, really impressed with the way this team fought this year. It's sad to say that this is our pretty much last one until we get this thing going next year. Am I ready to say it's over with? No. Were the coaches ready to say it was over with? No. But at the end of the day, it's like I told these guys, somebody's going to win and lose. Granted, like we did with the middle school guys when they lost, you're going to have a team that loses. Whichever team loses is going to be upset and all that. But, we can hold our heads high. It's like I told those guys. I said, hey, at least we can put another banner up out here. That's right. It says 2023 first round of the state playoffs that hasn't been up. And I said one thing about it, seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, your names will be ever edged on that fence right there on a sign that nobody can ever take down because it's something that you've achieved and you've done. And that's the most important thing about it is we're trying to build something and build off. You always build off the past so that future will look brighter, and I think we've got the guys for a brighter future ahead.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Coach. Like you say, it's the foundation, and these guys did a great job and a great year for you. So let's hop into these games. All right, so you dropped the first 2, didn't make it to game 3. Tough losses. You already mentioned the errors.
Yep.
That's what killed you. So I guess let's just hop right into them.
Okay. Well, we went over, of course, on Thursday. We got through 4 innings, and we had I think it was 3 innings or whatever. And then the rain came. We had maybe a 30-minute delay. Went back out. Lightning detector went off again. Then we ended up having to go into Friday. Well, We went only 4 innings, so the game wasn't past the 5th inning. Since they would have been the home team, basically been 4.5 innings if they'd have held us. So we looked at the radar, saw what was coming, and there was just no way to get back on the field. So with it not being past the 5th inning, you have to start where the game was. So I think it was 3-0. Ty Orr was up to the plate with 1 out with an 0-1 count. Okay. So that's the way the game on Friday had to start. So he got an absolute downpour. He sent Coach from Bacon Noble sent me pictures of his field, and it was underwater, probably about 11 o'clock that night. He went back out, and he worked on that field all night. We showed back up over there around 9:45 that morning, got the guys to meet me at 7 o'clock, 7:30. Right. We got on the bus, got over there. When we got there, the coach had the field looking great. He worked on it all night, which I give him props for getting the field ready. So we had to start. I think we were going to start at 11, so we backed it up to 12 o'clock, let it dry a little bit more. So we started in the 4th inning there. I think we made it back to 5-3, scored some runs. If we'd have held them, I thought we'd have had a better chance to come back, but then we give up 2 more. Mm-hmm. So I think it made it 7-3, and it ended up being 8-4. So we had to roll into game 2. We had Zach Wall on the mound. Zach did what he's supposed to do, what he's done all year. He threw strikes, got the ground balls he needed to at times. We made some mental mistakes that not effort mistakes, just mental mistakes. And those mental mistakes are the ones that are hard to swallow. And that kind of killed us. I think it was a chance. It was 5-4. We had 2 big base running mistakes that cost us a run early in the game. We had a guy on second. We got in a rundown, got picked off. Next batter got a base hit. Should have been 5-5. Right. Ethan Moore came up and hit a big home run for us to make it 4-5 or 5-4, whatever it was, or 7-6. I can't remember. Everything's kind of a blur because everything just it frustrated me a little bit sitting there watching it. Well, the game ended up 7-6. Yeah. We had bases loaded, another opportunity. If we just had one more hit, a bloop to fall in, we could have tied it or taken the lead right there. We had the momentum going our way, and we just could not make that one play that would have kept them from scoring them extra runs or getting that one more hit timely that we may have needed to put us ahead. But, I mean, it stinks in a way that I felt like we had too many opportunities that we did not capitalize on. And that's baseball. I mean, that's the way the ball bounces. But, hey, tip your hats to Bacon County. They battled. Those guys came out and threw strikes, made the plays, got the hits when they needed to. They beat us 8-4 the first game and 7-6 in the second game.
Yeah, no doubt. You competed both games, right, and the mental mistakes killed you. But I want to take it back to Ethan Moore going out of the ballpark right there. We can still pull some good things. That senior going out there, I imagine that's a memory he'll have that forever.
He was swinging the bat well.
Yeah.
He swung the bat really well. He hit one in the first game on Thursday that I thought had a chance. The guy catches it kind of near the fence, but he was on the balls this weekend. He took some really good swings. And when we needed that big hit, I think it was a 3-run homer, if I'm not mistaken. He's actually first one here at Dublin for his first home run. He's in the state playoffs of his last game of his Dublin high school career. So that was exciting. He swung the ball. He swung the bat really, really well for us. And, of course, he did a good job on the mound in the first game. And actually, he went 4 innings in the first game with 47 pitches, and he came back out because he said, Coach, I want the ball. I'm good. Right. So he came back out on Saturday at 12 o'clock and got back on the bump for us again. So he's got that competitive fire in him, competitive nature. And when a guy looks at you and he says, Coach, I want the ball, you're not going to take it from him. No. And that's what he did. And he just wasn't on the winning side of it right there. But he did a very good job for us, which all these seniors did. We'll highlight, and talk about the team here in a little bit. But I'm very, very impressed with where this team has kind of transformed and what they've done in the last 3 years.
Right. Yeah, no doubt we mentioned it. I mean, only going up here at Dublin High School. Let's talk about it a little bit more when we come back. We'll take a break. Y'all stay with us.
That's right. Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and air conditioning unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new unit, Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff can help you today at Allen's Heating and Cooling. Your Amana dealer. Amana, last and last and last. North, south, east, or west, Friendly Gus is on your way today. Fuel up with Friendly Gus's delicious breakfast, made fresh every day. Your wallet and your belly will thank you. Choose from our 20, 40, and 60-piece chicken finger and wing platters. And don't forget the tater logs. Our food is always fresh and our service is always friendly. Friendly Gus, on your way today. Also shop Cochran Brothers Cash and Carry at 320 South Jefferson in Dublin for additional items like paper products, chicken wings, bulk drinks, spices, sauces, and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Coach Todd Hogan and Coach. Dublin baseball is changing here pretty big in the past few years, and on all levels. Okay, let's highlight the middle school program real quick. We've got to talk about them before we get out of here for the season. You know, they had a great year, and even going to the championship game there. Of course, they didn't deliver there, but just going there is huge for them. And we got some guys coming up. We got to be excited about that. Got to be excited about what's going on down there.
Well, I think you are. Your high school program is only going to be as good as your middle school program is.
Sure.
And we've got, I think it's 10 guys that will be coming up from the middle school. That's a big number.
Yeah.
You want to have big numbers every year. And some of those guys, they're going to be competing next year.
Right.
I expect all 10 of them to compete. You know, if you've got to run out, and I've got to run out 9 freshmen to start next year, then today I'll run out 9 freshmen. Yeah. It does not matter to me what grade, what age you are, whatever. If you're one of the best players, you're going to be on the field playing. Right. And I expect them to go out this summer, because once your season ends, you're preparing for next year. Now, I know they have football and other obligations and things they're going to do, but you've also got to be preparing for next year at this time. And those 10 that we have coming up, I want them. I want them to come out and say, hey, you know what? I'm coming for your job, senior. I'm coming from your job, junior or sophomore. If we get that competitive level in the dugout, then we're going to be good competing throughout the year. Same thing I tell the middle school guys. If you're an incoming 6th grader, go take a 7th or 8th grader's job. Best 9 are going to be on the field. Does not matter who you are. Does not matter who your parents are and all this stuff. This is the way we're going to do it. And I want these kids to earn their spot and understand what Dublin baseball is about and come out and learn to compete.
Yep.
That is the main goal moving into next year at middle and high school.
Yes, sir. That's what we want. And, I mean, that's how you build a program right there.
Right.
Let's compete. Coach, bring it back to the high school. Let's highlight these kids again. You know, this is our last show for a while.
Yep.
Okay, we've talked about them all throughout the year. Let's make sure we highlight each and every one of these kids and what they brought to the table this year, and for the underclassmen, what they're going to be bringing next year.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna make sure I got to pull my phone out because I don't want to miss anybody. Well, we'll kind of start off with Willie Batts. That's Mr. Batts. He's the principal at the middle school. Willie did some outfield for us this past year. Very athletic, can run the bases. He's got a strong arm. He's only going to get better. Jace Giles was one of our seniors, pitcher, first baseman that we're going to lose. Had a great year this year on the mound for us. Ty Orr, another senior, anchored shortstop for us, hitting a 2-hole. What do you say? You're missing a 2-hole guy. Yeah. He swings it really well. We're going to miss that guy. Mikey Patasol is a kind of a jack of all trades for us. He will catch bullpens. He warms up guys. He gets foul balls. He played on the JV. You can't say enough about what this kid does for your program. He'll do anything you want him to do. Jeff Davis was a freshman. Got a lot of big innings on the mounds for us this past year. He's going to be vital to where this program goes, whether it's at first base or on the infield and on the mound for us. Looking forward to having him back. Bryson Evans was a freshman also, kind of third, second base, played on the JV. Got a strong arm. It's going to be interesting to see how he grows this summer. You got Cole Conley's a freshman, strong arm, plays some third base for us, learning how to catch, going to help us in the catching spot next year. Anxious to see how he grows this year. Gabe Conley started at second base for us, played some third, left-handed bats, got good pop, is only going to get stronger and better. He's going to have to help us on the mound next year and, of course, at second base. Walker Allen's coming back. He'll be a senior next year. He's got to be ready to go too. I don't know. He's going to be an outfielder, infield. He's going to be somewhere. He's got a good bat. He's going to be ready to go next year for us. Ethan Moore was our senior. We talked about a little bit. He hit a big home run this past last week, in the playoffs. You're going to miss that guy.
For sure.
Solid behind the plate, solid on the mound, hit pretty much in the 4-hole for us, so we're definitely going to Ethan Moore. Diego Jackson's going to be Senior coming back at third base, pretty much played some shortstop for us, but mainly was our third baseman. He has just taken leaps and bounds in the last 2 years, 3 years of where he's going. So I'm anxious, ready to see how he performs next year. We got Wesley Maddox that plays first base, left-handed pitcher. He's helped us out a lot. He's got some innings in varsity this past year for us and some JV games, so I'm ready to get him back out here. Xavier Reese anchored left field every day for us as a freshman. He was out there every single day. He was just solidified left field for us. Hit really well for us, hit probably over 300 as a freshman. What can you say about that kid? He's the same every day he comes out. Josh Guyton will be a senior next year, going to probably do catching with us next year, can play short, second, third, left, right, center. He's been our ultimate utility man this year, has played all over the field for us. Tyrese Robinson, anchored right field and center field for us, leadoff guy, left-handed bat, going to have a bright future. Got to get stronger, but once he gets stronger, he's going to take flight. He's going to be very exciting to watch the next 2 years. Taj Carswell was a big guy that came in, did a lot of base running for us when you can courtesy run for a pitcher and a catcher, and his base running has just gotten so much better that as soon as he gets on, we know he's probably going to steal. Right. He has done an excellent job for us. Zach Wall is a senior that anchored center field for us. Pitched for us, had some really big outings for us this year. It's hard when you lose that guy in center field because you know when that ball's hit, he's going to go get it.
Sure.
Eli Hartwell became eligible when the playoffs started. Yep. He DH for us, and then he went in right field in the second game. He's going to have to help us on the mound next year. He's going to have to help us in the outfield next year. He's got good speed. He's going to be exciting to watch. We have a manager that helped out. He kept our scoreboard. He did whatever we needed to do around here. Football player guy too, Jeremiah Alexander. So that's kind of a rundown of the guys that ended up with the varsity for us this year. I'm pretty sure I got everybody right there. I don't think I missed anybody. But I also want to thank our coaches, Coach Brian Brown. He makes my job easy. You know, he calls all the pitches. He hits in and out for us. He's just a godsend. You know, a guy that you can sit back and with all the head coaching experience he has, he knows the game so well. So I want to thank Coach Brown. The players also loved Coach Brown and his energy he brought. Coach Brad Wallace, coach first base for us. Come out and do whatever you want him to do. You know, came over from Washington County. He's that guy that kind of keeps me under control a little bit, wants these guys to keep the energy level going. Brandon Walden, he comes out, does anything you want him to do to hit fungos. He keeps game changer forward. He puts all this stuff in, keeps up with the stats so it doesn't have to fall back on me at the end of the day, and he does a heck of a job doing that. So I want to thank all those guys that have come out, helped us to get where we're needing to be, and also where we're going to go in the future. And I appreciate every one of them so much.
Yeah, no doubt. And Coach, let's highlight a few more guys. I know the coaches of the region vote on some guys every year, and I believe we have some all-region selections this year from the Dublin Fighting Irish. If you got that list for us.
Let me see if I can make sure I pull this thing up real quick, because I don't want to leave anybody out, and make sure that I'm on top of all of it. So this year, the coaches got together, of course, and we voted on our first and second team, all region and all that stuff. So this year, Dublin High School, we had the Offensive Player of the Year. We actually had one from our school and one from another school. So Tyrese Robinson was voted as co-Offensive Player of the Year. Had a really good year swinging the bat. So Tyrese Robinson is Offensive Player of the Year for our region. And then as we go down, let's see, we'll go to, make sure I don't want to leave anybody out now. All right, catcher. Ethan Moore was second team all-region as catcher this year for representing Dublin High School. Jace Giles was first team, first base for Dublin High School this year throughout our region. Get down a little bit here. We had Ty Orr, which was second team all-region shortstop, so that's good. Got another Dublin High School guy on there. There you go. And then we go down to utility player, and I talked about him a little bit earlier, a guy that can play all over the field and do everything, was Josh Guyton. He was second team all-region utility player representing Dublin High School. And those are the rundowns. I think I've gotten everybody right here. So we were well represented in our region with some all-region teams, and with Tyrese being the Offensive Player of the Year. You know, it's good that these guys get the recognition they deserve for how hard they come out and work. And all those guys I named, they work their tails off. I'm going to miss the Jace, the Ethan, the Zachs, and all these guys at the end of the day. And I don't know. I think. Oh, let me make sure. Did I say Zach Wall? I can't remember if I did or not. Let me double check it just to be on the safe side. Make sure we got everything in here. Yeah. And Zach Wall was first team. Yep. Zach Wall was first team all-region outfield. That's the one I thought. I was thinking there was one more on there, which is like I thought about Zach Wall. They was like, Coach, I know your center fielder's going to be a first-team guy. Yeah, because he can go out there and get it. So those were my all-region players, and we're getting ready to have our banquet. I'm trying to get the date ready. We can recognize all these guys and, talk about the all-region stuff, the success they had this past year. So we'll get that together. We'll do our middle school and high school banquet together. I don't know the date exactly yet, but I'm excited about it to honor these guys, where they've come, where they're going, and just get together one more time.
That's it.
And shake some hands, give some hugs, and start getting ready for next year.
That's it, Coach. And we're going to talk about getting ready for next year. When we take this break, and y'all got to stay with us, come back last segment of the year, Coach. You ain't going to want to miss it. Dublin Irish Baseball Coaches Show. Stay with us.
As we age, we face more physical concerns. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine can help you live a more pain-free life. Back pain, stiff joints, balance concerns, arthritis, and more. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine can help you improve your quality of life. Call for a free evaluation today. 478-275-1800. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine accepts referrals from your doctor. Or no referral is needed with direct access for up to 8 visits. So call for your free consultation today. 478-275-1800. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine. 911 Hillcrest Parkway in Dublin, or at rehabadvantagesportsmed.com.
It's springtime and the deals are blooming here at Dublin Chevy GMC. During Chevy Truck Month, come take advantage of savings up to $4,000 off MSRP.
Get 0% financing for up to 36 months or rebates up to $2,250 on select Silverados.
And if you're looking to save at the pump with an economical crossover, we have those too. And if your vehicle's in need of a spring checkup, come let our GM certified technicians take care of you. And remember, Henrietta sells cars well, only at Dublin Chevy GMC.
Irish fans, welcome back. Like we say, Coach, I'm trying not to get emotional out here. It's the last segment for us for a few months at least.
Right.
So
that's right.
Here we are, and let's talk about the off season, okay? What's the schedule here, and when do you get back out here on the diamond? I know you got softball coming up as well.
Yeah, we've got. Next week I'm rolling in. I think.
Okay,
is it next week? Anyway, the 15th through the 18th, we're rolling into softball tryouts. GHSA gives you a week that you can go out with those and have softball tryouts. So it never ends for coaches, it seems like. So we'll roll right into softball pretty quick, and you'll go June and July and then start playing in August. Baseball guys, a lot of them are playing travel ball. I know a lot of the middle schoolers are, some of the high school guys are, and what we're going to try and do is maybe in the evenings during the summer, maybe come out and get these kids out here, take some BP, take some ground balls. Biggest thing we got to do is get out here with the pitchers, start developing some of these young arms a little bit, especially left-handed guys that we have at the middle school level, getting them ready for next year, because some of these guys are going to have to contribute. And we've got a bright future with the group that we're having. So we'll get together some during the summer, a couple times during the week, get out here, let these guys get around each other, start building that family atmosphere where everybody kind of knows each other. And we'll start moving, because, before we know it, we're going to be into November, December, coming out, start having winter workouts and conditioning, and all of a sudden January is going to roll around, and we're going to look back and we're going to be ready to start talking again. So, but it's bittersweet. I'm going to miss these guys, especially the 4 seniors, coming out every day at Bush Perry Field. I mean, the field looks great right now. I wish we were still out here playing on it. It's one of those things that when you have good facilities, you want to get out here and play on them. You want to host. You want to get deep in the playoffs. And we got to do a better job. We got to start getting 1 or 2 where we can sit here and start hosting some of this stuff and packing these stands with all the fans and the excitement that we've had. It's all on these kids, but it's also all on us. We got to get these kids prepared, get them right rolling into next year.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. And you talk about the kids leaving, and like you say, you really start out back in November, December. You building some relationships, coaches with kids, and even just watching the kids build relationships. And now that's it, Coach. I mean, talk about just them building those relationships through this season.
Well, I think that's what you have to do. You get these kids out here, they become your sons.
Right.
You try and mentor them every way you can. It's not just about what they do out here on the baseball field. It's about what these kids are going to be. Where are they going to be in a year? Where are they going to be in 5 years? Where are they going to be in 20 years? How do you prepare them for that next chapter of their lives, for college, or whatever route they take to be financially well off, which money's not everything, but you got to have it, but they need to be financially well off. How do they become good husbands? How do they become good fathers?
Right.
And being able to come back here in 5 to 10 years, shake their hand and look at them and see where their lives have gone. You know, what kind of job they're doing. Do they have a wife or kids on the way? You just want to see these kids. I will never, it's like I told them, you will always be part of Dublin High School.
That's it.
You will always be green and gold. You will always be my sons. I don't care if I'm 80 and you guys are in your whatever you are, 60s, whatever they may be. I'm going to always look at you as my son.
Right.
That's the way I take the approach to these kids every day. A lot of them probably hate me at times. I'm not easy to get along with, but my expectations are so high for these kids that I want them to understand that adversity you're going to face here, whether it's in the school or on this field, is only going to make you a tougher person throughout life. And that's what we got to do. We got to make these kids have thick skin, be able to answer certain questions people ask, and don't let that adversity tear them down on some goals that they have set for their lives. So that's one of the biggest things about it, is that family, getting these kids together, how we can do all this stuff, molding these young men into being the next leaders in this community or wherever they decide to go across America, and knowing that we did a really good job. That's the most important thing. Yes, wins and losses are great, but wins and losses do not define these young men. Do not define their lives. Do not define their careers. And that's the biggest thing I want them to understand, to go out, take care of what you have in front of you. Don't let somebody else tell you can't reach that goal, because I'm going to push you.
That's right.
I'm going to push you out here to where you want to go. Coach, I don't really like you. You know what? Okay, at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but it's not because I'm doing it to be mean. It's because I'm trying to be the guy that pushes you right there close to that cliff where you think you're going to jump, but you can fight and push back from that cliff and achieve anything you want to in your life. And that's one thing that we try and really let these kids understand, that we're going to be there for them. It's a family atmosphere, and I love each and every one of these kids more than they can possibly imagine for what they've done for myself, how they've made me a better man, and how they've improved this program here at Dublin High School.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what it's all about, Coach. Building men out here. That's what we're trying to do.
That's it.
And Coach, before we get to our sponsors one more time, I think we got to highlight the people who filled these stands all season, those parents and those fans. I mean, could not do this without them as well, Coach.
There's no question. My support group, for the administration all the way down from the board to the superintendent to the principals to the ADs to the assistant coaches to the teachers over in this school system, have been phenomenal this year for these young men. You have to sit out and get out of school. You can't go to school. You got to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. They stay on top with these teachers, with communications and all that. We make sure they get their grades. If we need something, they've been great. But also, too, these stands were packed this past year.
That's right.
The families that we have here, that's why our family atmosphere is good in this dugout, because the families that have raised these young men. True. And when you can come out here on a Friday or a Tuesday game or Thursday game, whatever it may have been this past year, and you can see the dedication in the family atmosphere with these people right here, from the grills going to the people in the concession stands to the kids out here, the middle school kids, you look up and there's a serious wiffle ball game going on out there. That's what it's all about. The more that we can get kids and families in these stands, I know where all the kids are. I know we're doing something right. We're getting that energy level back around, and we cannot do it without the support of each and every one of these family members that bring their kids to practice every day, pick them up if I'm running late, not complaining, well, he's 30 minutes late, he's 15 minutes. I try and stay on track, but some days you just get fired up about stuff that you may have to stay a little bit longer and try and achieve that goal. Haven't had any parents complain.
There you go.
And when you can get through a season where you don't have complaints, that's a win in itself, you know, and it's not always going to be that way. We're not going to make everybody happy. We try and do everything we can to treat your sons fairly, make the best decisions we think we need to make. Sometimes the parents may not agree with them, but that's just what we have. It's the hard side of it. You know, hey, I'll be glad to come out anytime, give you a lineup card, and you come out here and do this, and let's see how aggravating it can be when you're dealing with 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Sure. It's not easy. We're not perfect. We're not perfect, but we're going to try and do everything we can to have as much perfection as we can when these young men get out here. But I want to thank the parents once again, thank everybody involved with Dublin Irish baseball. You guys have been phenomenal. Keep pushing us. We're going to keep asking you guys for things. Keep helping us out as much as you can. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody that was involved with Dublin High School baseball this past year, and the future's bright.
No doubt about it. I've said it a few times. I'll say it again. The future is bright. Irish baseball is high. And, Coach, let's hit on these sponsors.
Definitely.
The ones that keep the wheels turning.
That's right.
On this Dublin baseball machine, Coach.
And once again, sponsors, thank you so much. I appreciate all your sign purchases this past year. They're going to stay up around here all year. They're not coming down just because baseball season is over. Your signs are going to stay up. They're going to be seen. So we're excited about that. But here we go. We're going to jump right into it. A-Plus Flooring Garage, Overhead Doors and Construction. Bubba's Tire. Middle Georgia Family Dentistry, Walker's Formula, Southern Yell Apparel, Morris Bank, Yates Insurance and Real Estate, Georgia First Bank, Hobbs Sporting Goods, or Self-Storage, or Insurance Agency, Friendly Gus, Dublin Ford, Pickle Barrel, Ryland Environmental, Dublin Chevy, GMC Nissan, Sign Wraps and more, Shell Realty, Shamrock Nutrition, Farmers State Bank, Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine, City of Dublin Natural Gas, Clements and Keene Insurance, Robbins Financial Credit Union, MPHI, Chick-fil-A, Community Bank of Dublin in Lawrence County, Georgia United Credit Union, Piggly Wiggly, CSS, Allen's Heating and Cooling, Mitch Warnick Attorney at Law, TV 35, Optimal Sports Medicine with Miss Melissa coming out here and taking care of my guys throughout the year when they get banged up or something like that. All the sponsors that donated stuff for Senior Day for all of our guys. Like we said, they had a big old cooler out here slap loaded with stuff. Yep. Also, the parents that gave some stuff to the coaches. We appreciate that. We don't deserve any of that, but we thank you guys for everything that y'all have done. I'm excited. I hope the community's going to stay excited. We're going to get this place right. We're going to keep working. The kids are going to keep working. Next year, I hope we're out here again at this time, but we're talking about going to the next round of the playoffs. Maybe a little bit longer. That's our goal. Yep. Each year, let's see how much further and further we can push these guys. Let's squeeze as much juice out as we can that lemon, and let's see how far this thing takes us. So it's going to give me a couple months to think about some things. I'm very excited. It's going to be a long summer. It is. It's going to be a summer that you think about, should you done this, should you done that, as all of us coaches do at the end of the day. But I'm really excited for where this future's going. I mean, where this program's going, where Dublin High School is going. And I'm excited. I can't say anything else about it. But, man, appreciate you so much for coming out every day. You know, whether it's rain, it's cold, sun's in our eyes, whatever, it don't matter. But thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I really do.
I enjoyed it. And, you know, we're going to work this off season, but until next year, we just got one more thing to say, Coach.
There's no question. Go Irish.